Hi, I'm Tracy Heatley and welcome to the Better Marketing Podcast, bringing you marketing magic in minutes. Over the past few episodes, we've been exploring the power of mindset, consistency and strategy. Last time we talked about how to build a brilliant brand without a big budget. Today, we're continuing that theme of impact by focusing on real stories, because sometimes the best way to understand marketing magic is to hear what happens when it works. So welcome to Stories That Sell, real results from real people. First of all, I want to focus on why stories matter. When I'm mentoring or consulting or training, one of the very first things that I help my clients to do is uncover their own value. Not just what they do, but how they transform things for their clients. And when you start to gather those wins, the results speak louder than any sales pitch ever could. If you've ever visited my website or read any of my Google reviews, you'll know my clients are generous with their words, and I'm so grateful for that. It really does mean a lot. But more than that, their stories show how and what happens when marketing is done right. The transformation is magic. So let's look at shoestring budget and soaring results. A great example is a client who came to me frustrated and overwhelmed. They've been spinning plates like you do when you're running a small business, trying everything, dipping in and out of different things to do with marketing and seeing very little traction. Within just 12 weeks of focused mentoring with the right strategy and the right direction in place, they trebled their turnover. Yes, trebled it. And all without splashing unnecessary cash. There was no flashy campaigns, just clear direction, clever targeting and consistent messaging. That's what happens when you stop throwing spaghetti at the wall and start implementing strategic marketing that's tailored for growth. Consistency creates confidence. As I was telling you about how I'd coined the phrase sporadic marketing syndrome and the impact that can have on businesses. And another small business owner that I mentor really struggled with this. And when we got to the bottom of things, it was to do with imposter syndrome and marketing procrastination. And this is something I see a lot, especially with service providers, because I think largely due to the fact that as a service provider, when you're marketing, very often you're putting yourself out there. It's your services that you're providing. And with that can come a sense of vulnerability sometimes and fear of putting yourself out there. So together we created a simple plan, we built in accountability and we tackled the confidence blocks. All this was done before we even looked at the marketing strategy, because I knew that if we couldn't get over this issue with being in the right mindset and overcoming this imposter syndrome and having to put yourself out there with confidence, I knew that my client would struggle with everything else that was to come. Fast forward a few months, not only are they showing up consistently online, the social media has rocketed and they're attracting better clients and they're feeling good doing it. The confidence and watching the confidence grow has been really pleasurable for me, because when you see somebody grow like that, it makes my heart sing, because they've done it. But I've been a little part of that and I've been able to add so much value that it's been transformational for them. And honestly, I could talk about results like these all day long because they happen regularly with my clients, particularly clients on the strategy cycle program. And the transformation I see over the 8 weeks of that is huge. But that's what happens when marketing is approached with structure and with support and with the right strategy. So if you can relate to any of these challenges that some of my clients are facing, please know that you're not alone. It happens a lot with more business owners than you probably realise. Sometimes we see everybody, or we think that everybody's doing great, but we're just seeing what they want us to see, aren't we? We're not always seeing what goes on behind the scenes. So you're not alone with this, I promise you. So how this applies to you, let's focus on this. And why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing it because I want you to know that what's possible, no matter where you're starting from or what your goals are, because I want you to know what's possible, no matter where you're starting from, whether you're feeling overwhelmed, whether you're feeling uncertain, it's all just too much, you're scared, you don't know what to do, and because you don't know what to do, you're not doing anything at all. I can relate to all of this, I promise you. There's so many businesses that feel like this. And I see these challenges every day. So from worrying about what family and friends might think, being intimidated by competitors, feeling overwhelmed with who, what, where, and when to target, who your customers are. There's a lot of business owners that don't know who their target market is or should be. You might be worrying about financing and what marketing is going to cost you. And to go back to the earlier example that I gave you, the business that trebled their turnover, that was an issue for them because they didn't have a massive marketing budget, but that's okay. You can still have a good strategy without having a massive budget. I help people overcome these things all the time. I have step-by-step processes to go through to help you overcome these. So if there is anything that I've shared in any of these that resonates, then do get in touch. There's loads of free blogs on my website that might help. If you're not ready to work with me yet, that's absolutely fine. I'm just sharing some of these stories because I'm hoping that it will help you shift that mindset and realise that actually there is an awful lot that you can do. You don't have to have a massive amount of time to do all of this, and you don't have to have a massive budget. So whether you download my free Small Business Owners Roadmap to a Better Strategy Guide, check out some of that. There's definitely things in there that will help you. You can check out my mentoring options, my strategy cycle program. There's loads of things on my website, and there's always something that you can do to take a step forward. If you're not quite ready, like I say, it's okay. Just keep listening to the podcast, keep learning. And remember that real results start with small, consistent actions. So even if you take some of the snippets that I'm sharing with you in the podcast and start implementing them, over time, I'm sure that you will see a change. So I just wanted to share some of those stories with you because sometimes when I'm talking about marketing, there's an assumption there that you're going to need this massive marketing budget, and it's not the case, I promise you. There's always something that you can do with very little. So I have worked with business owners that have got targets that, just to give you an example, actually, I'm sidetracking it a little bit, but just to give you an example, I can be working with one client that wants a turnover of 60 million and one client that wants a turnover of 60,000. It doesn't matter what the goals are or where you are now. There's always things that you can do, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. In the next episode, I'll be flipping the focus a little bit from my clients to your story. And it's called What's Your Story? It's about using authenticity to build trust and grow your brand. So I'll be walking you through how to uncover, shape, and share your own business story in a way that connects with your ideal customers. So until then, keep showing up, keep sharing your wins, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. I'm told I'm one of the most approachable people in the world, and that there's never ever a marketing question that shouldn't be asked. So if you're wondering, then ask and I will answer. If nothing else, I may be able to cover a specific topic in a later podcast episode. So if you have got any questions, if you have got any fears or anything else that you would like to share with me, please do get in touch. So I'll leave it there for this episode for now. If you want to get in touch with me, you can via my website. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. If you do download the guide that's on my website, that's a free guide. There's a lot of information in there. If you do download that, make sure that you put in the code POD2025 to be entered into the podcast competition, where you may win a free power hour with me, where within that hour we can just focus on anything to do with your marketing or AI challenges. So do get in touch. My website is tracyheatley.com. So that's TracyHeatley.com. So I'll leave it there for now. And remember, between now and the next episode, keep moving forward. And always remember, better marketing means better business.